how you doing? This is Adam Post, publisher of more than 1,000 comic books and marketing expert covering the Bud Light controversy. I've never seen anything quite this bad. Woke Bud Light is now forced to buy back unsold beer, probably in the millions of cases. There's a price war coming for beer. That's if the Bud Light people and Anheuser Busch people are actually lucky. And their profits are expected to be off as much as 45%. Not for Bud Light, for all of Anheuser Busch. Their stock is being priced now, per analysts, and I'll get into that in a second, as if they're expecting a 45% drop in operating profits. Keeping in mind, they sell 500 brands worldwide. They're the biggest brewer in the world. There's kind of no reason why they should be suffering quite that much. Except that this Bud Light hole that was smashed into the side of this ship shows absolutely no sign of being fixed, and the company does not know what to do about it. Let's get into the first article. Before we do, please be sure you are subscribed to the channel. Click the bell for notifications. Give me a thumbs up. Really appreciate you guys. This is coming from Barron's, kind of like the Wall Street Journal, financial publication. Bud Light sales keep cratering after transgender controversy. Price wars may be next. Now, the price wars? How are they going to have price wars when people are unwilling to buy their beer at any price or to even be seen with it for free? That we haven't figured out yet. The article will explain. Bud Light sales show no signs of recovery as the Dylan Mulvaney controversy continues to bite, and now parent Anheuser Busch, InBev, may be unleashing a beer price war that could depress profits industry-wide this summer. Now, a beer price war would basically be they're going to keep their price for Bud Light very low. We already know they're doing these incredibly aggressive rebates where you get $20 back for buying a $19.98 case of beer. And there are $15 rebate programs they're doing as well. Essentially the same sort of thing, just $5 cheaper, but it makes it not viable for the entire industry. This is how bad it is. Will people buy Bud Light that cheaply instead of buying another brand and show up at a party and say, hey, look at me, I've got 4 cases of Bud Light, let's all party? Are they going to do that? A lot of people don't want to be seen with the product, so you would expect that they're not. And really, if discounting the beer this much isn't working for them and they're stuck buying back millions of dollars and millions of cases probably worth of beer that is unsold, a price war would be great for them. It doesn't seem like a price war is even a possibility. You've probably heard about this. Bud Light ready to buy back unsold cases of expired beer that sat on shelves as consumers revolted over partnership with Dylan Mulvaney. And, as you know, you're probably one of the people boycotting Bud Light. It's not really a boycott. It's just people don't like the association. We don't like what they've done with the brand. So we kind of not want to be seen anywhere near the can. It really has nothing to do with transgender, this, that, or the other thing. It's just they've gone ahead and they've ruined all the associations that they had that could have been positive or even neutral for the brand. So Bud Light is going to its 380 some independent distributors, because those are private companies, and saying, hey, look, if you have any cases of beer that are unsold, we will give you cash for those so you aren't stuck with them. Not something they probably normally do. Probably not even in their contract, but they need to do it because if they don't do it, they will kill their own distribution system. But distribution system for what? Who wants the product? Bud Light sales volumes were down 28.4% in the week ended May 13th, worse than the 27.7% decline the previous week, according to Beer Business Daily, which uses NIQ scan data. So this is data that comes right from stores, convenience stores, liquor stores, grocery stores that sell the beer. Other Anheuser Busch brands are hurting, with Budweiser Red volumes down 14.9% in the latest week, and Michelob Ultra, the company's strongest U.S. brand, down 6.8%. Rivals continue to benefit, with the sales of Coors Light up 16.9% and Miller Lite up 15%, according to Beer Business Daily. So for all the business that is lost at Bud Light and the other Anheuser Busch brands, it's being picked up by their competitors. They're never getting that back. This is devastating. I'm a marketing guy, so I don't like to see things get destroyed. These people actually deserve it, but even so, it takes a lot of work to develop something like this. It took 20 years to build Bud Light into the #1 brand. People put their careers and their lives into it. They destroyed it by going woke. It's now about 2 months since a conservative backlash and boycott erupted over a Bud Light marketing pitch involving transgender influencer Dylan Mulvaney, and the impact on the brand continues to be keenly felt. Anheuser Busch, the world's largest brewer, is now offering $15 and $20 rebates on 24 can cases of Bud Light and regular Budweiser. That can cut the cost of a case to under $5, even zero. Now, this is not the first time they've done promotions like this. When there's a big consumption season, Memorial Day weekend, for sure, for the summer is a big consumption time. Soda companies do it all the time in the summer. It's done at Christmas time for different kinds of products. The idea is this is a great opportunity for someone to change their association with your product or keep your association with your product when people are making big product buying decisions. You're going to buy 2 cases of beer because you're having a party this weekend, whatever it's going to be. They would love for you to buy Bud Light and then continue to buy Bud Light after that party for your own consumption. Same thing with soda, same thing with a lot of consumer products, but obviously it's not going to happen this time. Anheuser Busch's stock fell 0.9% Monday to $58.83. The stock is off about 10% since the company reported first quarter earnings. Barron's wrote favorably on the company recently, arguing that the company is strong internationally and that the Mulvaney impact on sales would diminish as the year progresses. The stock is unchanged in early trading Tuesday. The stock is in absolutely terrible shape, and this is something people don't seem to be catching on to yet. They've lost $16 billion in value since March 31st, right before the promotion broke. $16 billion down. The stock was at kind of a high for the year back then. It really shouldn't, it was a little bit on the high side. If you were going to buy into a stock, you tend to buy into a stock when it's running lower so that you buy low and either sell high or you hold. And their stock has been down as little as a market cap of $89 billion just going back from October 2022. So not even within a year, it's been that low. That's $27 billion less than where it is right now. That's where the stock is going to wind up when everyone catches up to what's been going on with this brand and this company. Right now, there's no reason to think the company is going to be able to turn things around. Analysts say the troubles at Bud Light will sharply reduce the company's profits in the United States. While we recognize the data may evolve further, based on the current available data, we prudently model U.S. earnings before interest and taxes to decline by 26% in fiscal 2023 with no fiscal 2024 recovery. So the analysts are actually saying this. And this is coming from JP Morgan. This is where this is sourced off of. JP Morgan owns Chase, all sorts of banking and financial interests. There's a subset of American consumers who will not drink a Bud Light for the foreseeable future. Anheuser Busch InBev's U.S. profits may tumble. So what they're expecting is this. They're expecting a 26% drop will happen for the entire company for 2023 and for 2024. They're also saying that, look, right now, the stock might be worth buying. I definitely don't agree. But they say the stock might be worth buying because right now the stock is pricing in. People are assuming in the market it's going to have a 45% drop. They think it's only going to be 26%. Wait until they see how badly this summer goes and how they're really, even with a price war, there's no viable. If you can't give the beer away for free, how are you going to have a price war? Then they say this. While we understand the hesitancy to add to ABI positions before we have more clarity on the U.S., this is Anheuser Busch, the parent company of Bud Light. Based on the recent data and our scenario analysis, in this note, we believe risk reward is favorable from here. He has an overweight rating on Anheuser Busch stock, $76 price target. I don't see how they're going to recover. And this also has never happened before. This type of boycott, this kind of result, it's not happened that I've seen in marketing. The only thing close to this is a total product recall, where you go into the marketplace and you say, oh, okay, well, unfortunately, this product is totally dangerous. It kills people. It's poison. So we need to pull it all off the shelves. And then they try to rebrand later. Tylenol had a product recall like that. It's done fine since they handled it, but they handled their business right away. This isn't a product recall for that reason. This is worse than poisoning people, unfortunately, with their product. This is changing the product to be something that people do not want to be associated with. They do not want to consume. They do not want to feel like by drinking this, they're supporting a very aggressive woke agenda in the United States, pushing changes to people's identity, changes to how we deal with our children, changes to how everything is dealt with in mainstream society. A lot of people are not interested in that, and they don't want it forced on them through their products. One good thing is that marketers are actually paying attention, and they're watching the backlash to woke advertising from Bud Light, Miller Lite, and Adidas. From Digiday, it's seemingly open season on advertising that's deemed woke as brands like Miller Lite and Adidas join Bud Light in dealing with backlash to their recent inclusivity-themed campaigns, partnerships, or imagery. With that being the case, marketers may second-guess advertising that could be considered woke, though it's hard to say exactly what that would be. So far, that's been efforts to be more inclusive of trans people, like Bud Light and Adidas, or a satirical ad for Women's History Month, Miller Lite, which is satirical, but it was mocking their customer base. Marketers and agency executives say there may be a lot more caution among risk-averse brands and marketers now as they watch what's happening to their peers and look for ways to avoid the same happening to them. This is something I've seen pop up in a number of articles. There is a reconsideration for pushing the woke agendas through products and through mass marketing. People are second guessing it because not only are companies getting hurt and stockholders are getting hurt, but people like Alyssa Heinerscheid, who was the female head of Bud Light's marketing, lost her position and probably ruined her career over this. So there are changes that are starting to happen. Let me know what you think of all this in the comments below. Do you see what I'm saying about a price war? Like, how are you going to have a price war if people won't buy the product at any price or even accept it for free? Did you think that this Bud Light situation was going to keep going on this long, or did you think that there was going to be some backing off at some point from consumers? I don't see why consumers would back off at all. There are so many other beers they can buy, and they've made these switches. They're not drinking beer. They're just not drinking this beer. Why would they ever switch back to Bud Light? If you have any ideas about that, I'd love to see them. Put it in the comments below. And did you realize that the cratering stock price for Bud Light's parent company, Anheuser Busch, is actually anticipating a 45% drop in their profits so far? That's the first time I've seen that published by an analyst. These guys watch their numbers really closely. And while they think that the company could potentially be a good buy right now, I don't know how they could recommend that, knowing that this is a historic destruction of a brand and potentially a company for disrespecting and going against their consumers. Definitely let me know what you think. Always love to see your comments. Please be sure you are subscribed to the channel. Click the bell for notifications. Give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you again soon with another video. And if I don't see you, I will miss you.